You're listening to the Conference Board of Canada's Mental Health and COVID-19 series with Dr. Bill Howatt, Chief of Research, Workplace Productivity.
Hi, Bill Howatt, Mental Health COVID-19, Conference Board of Canada. Welcome. Today I'm going to have a conversation with you about coping skills considerations. This was based on a question. I won't say the young lady's name that sent me a lovely communication through LinkedIn and said, Bill, we recently read your report with the Mental Health Commission of Canada and the Conference Board of Canada around factors of how people are coping. This is a new report we just finished. You can find it on our site. And what is interesting from her question was she said, okay, what advice do you give people in starting to think about how they are coping with COVID-19? And it's a great question because what got her thinking was in the study, we talked about at-risk coping skills, prosocial coping skills, and help-seeking coping skills. And one of the things to think about to help us get a frame of reference is I'm going to talk about what they are briefly. Then I'm going to give you a little bit of coaching for you to think about. So start with at-risk coping skills are things that we do to help us with symptom relief. So I'll give you an example. If I'm feeling overwhelmed and stressed and I'm looking for some way to feel better in regards to my emotions and I want to feel better inside, I could engage in a behavior that looks at symptom relief. So for example, food, like a bag of chips or ice cream or something where my taste buds, and I may not be hungry, but I do it to feel better. It's quick, it's easy, and the hope is to try to feel better. People will use alcohol the same way, they will use drugs the same way. The challenge with food and even a glass of wine, that's not the problem. What the problem with at-risk coping skills is the frequency, duration, and intensity. So if you eat all the time in the evening when you're not hungry, you can be taking a lot of extra calories on, but you also can be taking saturated fats and etc. that could be putting you at risk for cholesterol issues, obesity, and if you're having all kinds of sugar, could be leading to type 2 diabetes. So the at-risk coping, though in the moment it may create the illusion of symptom relief, is typically short-lived and it can lead to a bunch of other problems. So let's just remember at-risk coping skills for a moment. Pro-social coping skills, those are things that you do that can help charge your battery. And there's literally hundreds of them and no two people need the exact same one. So they can range from, which you've heard about, we talked about probably before, you heard me say about meditation or mindfulness, or it could be gratitude, to gardening, to going for a walk, to spending time with your pet, to helping and volunteering, or acts of kindness. Anything you do that actually, when you do it, you feel a positive charge that promotes health, that's good for you. That now, candidly, you do too much of anything that can disrupt your life. So if I spent all my day doing something that was, for example, running, and all I did was run and jog, on the surface you can say, well, he's exercising, but a positive addiction can still become a problem if it starts to disrupt my time with my family or my work or etc. So the trick with a pro-social coping skill is it charges your battery and it doesn't create disruption for yourself or other people around you, and is accretive. It helps you feel good and helps you do it. The thing that's also important to differentiate between a pro-social coping skill and at-risk, the at-risk coping skill is reactive, like you're feeling stressed, so you're looking for symptom relief. A pro-social coping skill is something that's what we call it preventative, that you do to try to charge your battery before, like getting on a Stairmaster and exercising. Or if you're feeling really, really stressed, to help ameliorate, you might, if you're feeling overwhelmed and tension in your body, you might move to deep breathing, for example. The intention is prevention and to help you in situations. And then the third one is help-seeking behavior. We need to get better at understanding that in a pandemic, our mental health is uncertainty. People are going to be drained and we're going to be fragile by times. It's okay to feel overwhelmed and it's okay. Sometimes to believe you don't have all the answers because we're in a pandemic and no one has all the answers. So if you get to the point where you have questions, help-seeking behavior doesn't mean I have to wait till I get sick or broken. Help-seeking is like, I have a question, I don't quite know how to start. So it could be with a trusted peer or a family member. It could be with a workplace mentor. It could be with a executive coach or a business coach. It could be with a psychologist or social worker or a mental health professional. It could be with your GP. It could be with your minister, your priest. It could be any type of spiritual guidance counselor or someone you help. It's someone you trust that can help you solve a problem. And the problem could be, I don't know where to start. So for example, if you're feeling lonely and you're by yourself and you don't know exactly where to start, and instead of feeling socially isolated, you might go start talking to people. Okay, so now I've given a frame of the 3 buckets. Now here's what my challenge to you is. Over the last 90 days, and without labeling, I'd like you to take a piece of paper and start at the top and write when you're feeling stressed, or how you keep yourself charged, or how do you help yourself feel to help you deal with this COVID-19, plus all the other demands of work and life. Just write down, starting at the top, what do you do to help yourself feel better? Start, and don't judge them, to start writing them from top to bottom. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then once you write them, whether it's 5, 8, 10, whatever you have, 3, whatever those coping skills are, then I'd like you to think about, okay, what percentage time do I go to it? So for example, food is a big one. Well, when do I do it? Well, is it just when I'm reactive, or is it I'm doing it every night between 6 and 9? And this is for you. So being honest with yourself is a good thing, and not trying to judge it, to say factually when you do it and how much. That's your frequency, duration, and intensity. And if you meditate, frequency, duration, intensity. If you exercise, frequency, like every day for 20 minutes, whatever it is. So now you have your frequency, duration, intensity. And then what I'd like you to do is rank them. The third, so you have your list, how much you do them, and then rank them what you think is your go-to. What's the one you go to number 1? What's number 2? What's number 3? And then once you do all that, the 4th column, the last column, is label them. Is this at risk? Is this prosocial? Is that? Once you do this, instead of evaluating and judging yourself, saying, oh, I have to make all these changes, just sit in it for a minute and then make a decision. If you have one at-risk behavior, consider if you were to stop that, what could you replace it with? And here's a great opportunity for you. If you're not quite sure where to start, you can take this little chart and you can sit with somebody who spends time like myself or other professionals. Not that I can help you today, but I'm just using it as an example, is talk to someone who does this a lot to help you come up with a strategy or a plan. Or you may want to consider taking a course in resiliency or coping skills or something like that, or read a book on it, or do some thinking to get some more knowledge that can help you. The key to this, to promote coping skills and to pick good coping skills, starts with awareness of what you're doing and intention if you realize the consequences of doing nothing. And the point is we don't need to do 100 things. We can just pick one behavior that may not be in our best interest to consider start to improve them. And sometimes we can reward ourselves too, maybe for a treat by times if food was an issue. There's all kinds of things that you can do that can help you from habitually creating habits and learning new habits, or read books on how to create new habits. And that's what I wanted to kind of frame for you today, and I think I did it okay in a short period of time, is to give you a few ideas. I do believe spending time thinking about how you're coping and what you're actually doing, bring it to your awareness, then you can become accountable if you're going to make the decision, and then you can make some action. So awareness, accountability, and action. And these are the 3 types of coping skills: at risk, prosocial, and help seeking. And I'm a big fan in that it's perfectly fine to be asking questions earlier the better if you're not sure. So with that, I'm going to wish you a great day, and thank you for that special request. Looking forward to continuing our conversations, and until next time, we'll get through this one day at a time. Hi, Bill Howatt here. Hopefully you're finding these videos of some value. If you'd like to share these, on the lower right of your video, there's a icon you can click. You can send it through your social media feeds, join the Conference Board of Canada social media feed so we can keep you up to date. And if you have ideas, suggestions, please leave your comments so we can consider them. And if you have things that you'd like us to speak to, I certainly will try to do all I can to help out. With that, have a wonderful day.